Would you believe me if I told you that throughout Scorpion's fighting career, he only has 2 official wins and 22 official losses? Of course you wouldn't believe me, but after doing hours of research on all the canonical fights that took place within each Mortal Kombat game, I have come to the shocking conclusion that this guy is a fucking loser. Flush the whole character away. So look, here's how we're gonna do this, right? I'm gonna have 2 separate categories. The official wins category, which are wins that help Scorpion achieve his goals without creating an even worse outcome, and the empty wins category, which are wins that don't help him achieve his goals or wins where the opponent was holding back. And don't worry, for those that still want to count his empty wins as real wins, we'll tally them up at the end of the video and I'll show you exactly why Scorpion still has a losing record. But as you're watching this video, just keep in mind that winning the battle isn't the same as winning the war. Also, we won't be counting the MK1 timeline since Scorpion from that reality isn't Hanzo Hasashi and it's actually Kuai Liang, aka Sub-Zero, cosplaying as Scorpion. So without further ado, let's start with Mortal Kombat Mythologies, where within the first 5 minutes of the game, Scorpion is getting his head punched off by Sub-Zero, like the nigga that tried to fight Jason from Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Manhattan. Oh my god. This is already starting off bad for Scorpion, but it's okay because in the very same game, Scorpion comes back to life and redeems himself by getting his ass whooped again. You mean to tell me you came back with a power boost and fire powers and still lost on the dead homies? Couldn't be me. Guys, we haven't even made it to the first 2 minutes of the video, and this man has already taken 2 L's. Scorpion had to be feeling like Guy from Super Street Fighter 4.
K.O. Profound sadness.
But wait, there's more. If we jump to the events of the first Mortal Kombat tournament, Scorpion finally gets his first win by killing Sub-Zero. We can all agree on that, right? Wrong. This is actually another L. Why, you might ask? Because everyone should know by now that Sub-Zero didn't kill Scorpion's clan. It was Quan Chi. But what makes this an L is the fact that on Mortal Kombat Mythology, Sub-Zero literally told Scorpion who did it, and this dummy Scorpion chose to ignore him.
But my clan and family would still be alive. What? It wasn't enough to kill me. You had to destroy every last remnant of my being, including my wife and child.
You're mistaken. Quan Chi is responsible for their deaths.
Words will not save you. Lin Kuei, warrior.
Now, Scorpion, you literally had from Mortal Kombat Mythologies all the way up to the first Mortal Kombat tournament to do some detective work and figure out who actually killed your family and clan, and you still killed the wrong person? See, this is what happens when you're a Hall of Fame crash out. Nobody wins. But let me not get carried away. Unfortunately, we have to jump over the events of MK2 and MK3 and dive straight into MK4 due to Scorpion not having any fights or major roles to play during that time. But if we look at what happens on MK4, Scorpion actually fights the original Sub-Zero's little brother Kuai Liang and successfully defeats him in battle, giving him yet another L. And no, I'm not BSing you right now, because we have to look at the context of the situation. First, we need to ask ourselves why they're even fighting in the first place. And the answer to that question is that Quan Chi told Scorpion that Kuai Liang, the original Sub-Zero's little brother, was responsible for murdering Scorpion's family. But wait, Quan Chi originally told Scorpion that Bi-Han, the Sub-Zero before Kuai Liang became Sub-Zero, was the one who killed Scorpion's family and clan. So who was it? Is it Bi-Han or Kuai Liang? Scorpion should have known that Quan Chi was lying because there was only one Sub-Zero at the time of his clan's massacre. And Quan Chi specifically said that Sub-Zero did it, meaning that if what he said were true, it would have had to have been Bi-Han because he was the only Sub-Zero at that point in time. But since Scorpion is a YN and he don't got no goddamn common sense, this is an L. He should have known that Kuai Liang had nothing to do with it. But shortly after beating up the wrong guy, he finds out that Quan Chi was the one responsible.
If you are not the murderer, then who is?
I am the one you seek. To defeat my nemesis Sub-Zero, I needed the power of a Spectre. You've done my bidding well, Scorpion. But now I must return you to the Netherrealm.
And from this point on, Scorpion chased him all throughout the Netherrealm. But my nigga Quan from the hood, so he used to be on the run. Luckily for Quan Chi, he eventually escaped the Netherrealm, bringing us to the events of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, where Scorpion tries to confront Quan Chi in Shang Tsung's palace, only to be met with the two Oni demons, Moloch and Drama, who proceeded to beat the shit out of him. And before he knew it, he was being thrown into Shang Tsung's tornado in hopes he'd get ripped apart and destroyed forever. What's that, 0-5? You hate to see it, but of course, he somehow escapes before getting ripped apart, and in the process, he accidentally entered into another dimension referred to as the Void, which is, I guess, a place that the Elder Gods frequently visited, and it was there that Scorpion was not only able to see the events of Onaga's return, as well as the fall of the Deadly Alliance, but it's even where he made a deal with the Elder Gods that if he defeated Onaga during the events of Mortal Kombat Deception, he would have his clan restored. Keep that in mind. So without specifying how he wanted his clan restored, he allowed the Elder Gods to make him their champion and went on to confront and fight Shujinko, the man he thought was helping Onaga to bring existence to an end. Next thing you know, we're watching Scorpion get turned into a human pinata, beat the fuck up, another L to his name. And if it couldn't get any worse, tell me why Shujinko was the one to defeat Onaga, but the Elder Gods still rewarded Scorpion in his unsuccessful efforts by bringing his family back as undead vengeful spirits just like him, which was a shiesty move. They said, you failed us, now hold this failure, nigga. I don't even blame Scorpion for officially turning evil after this, bringing us to the events of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, where Scorpion was actively seeking vengeance against the Elder Gods. Now during this time, Scorpion found out that Taven was working with the Elder Gods in an attempt to prevent Armageddon from taking place, and seeing this as a great opportunity to be petty, he tried to kill Taven as an act of revenge on the Elder Gods for what they did to his clan. But as you probably guessed it, he was unsuccessful and got his ass whooped again. And from this point on, we don't see him win or lose another fight until it's revealed to us in the rebooted MK9 timeline that he was killed in the Battle of Armageddon by the younger Sub-Zero Kuai Liang. Golly, I can't wait to see how you guys try to defend this man in the comment section. This shit is sad. But fast forward to his first appearance in the reboot, and we see him successfully defeat the likes of Kung Lao and Nightwolf. However, these are what I'd like to call empty wins. They simply served no purpose. Scorpion didn't even want to fight them. He was forced to by Shang Tsung. In fact, let's listen to Scorpion explain why he's there.
Where is the Lin Kuei, Sub-Zero? He killed my family and clan. I will have his head.
Let me put it like this. If Scorpion would have saw Sub-Zero before he fought Kung Lao and Nightwolf, those fights would have never happened. And the same can be said for Cyrax and Sector, who he fought next in a 2-on-1 battle, adding another empty win to his record. But not long after this, the man he was searching for finally steps foot in the room. He said, put some respect on my name cause I'm as cold as a bitch. Scorpion couldn't believe his eyes. He begins to walk forward to get a better look. He says, if you're as cold as a bitch, then I'm as hot as your mama. They begin to walk each other down. No one says a word until they're face to face. Sub-Zero looks him dead in the eyes. He tells him, I know one thing's for certain and two things for sure. Your wife, your kid, your clan exists no more. The crowd goes crazy and Scorpion snatches Sub-Zero straight to hell. The only thing anybody remembers about that day is that Sub-Zero came in looking like Sub-Zero but left out looking like Skull and Bones. And at last, Scorpion has finally obtained his first official win. Psych! You hooligans actually believe that? You see, what I didn't tell you was that right after Scorpion faced off against Kung Lao and Nightwolf, Raiden said this.
Spare Sub-Zero's life, and I will request that the Elder Gods return the Shirai Ryu to the realm of mortals.
Now you tell me, is it not an L that Scorpion somehow allowed Quan Chi to convince him to kill Sub-Zero, even though if he hadn't, his family and clan would have been restored back to the realm of the living? And I know some of you lore heads are probably thinking, yeah, but dude, the deal Raiden proposed to Scorpion would have just led to Scorpion having his family and clan restored as undead specters like in the original timeline. But I disagree, and here's why. Unlike the original timeline where there was no specification for how they would be restored, Raiden said, "Spare Sub-Zero's life and I will request that the Elder Gods return the Shirai Ryu to the realm of the mortals," which based off the context of how he used it means bring them back to the world of the living as normal people. So Scorpion, like a dumbass, blew his chance to have his clan restored by allowing Quan Chi to manipulate him and kill Sub-Zero. And even Scorpion knew he took an L, which is why he told Quan Chi this on MKX.
You killed my wife, my son, and then you burrowed your way into my head, misdirected my vengeance, cost me my one chance to have them restored!
But let's jump back to MK9 for a second. After Scorpion blew his chance to have his family and clan restored, we see him and Quan Chi team up in the first tournament only to get defeated by one man, Liu Kang, who put both of them to shame without breaking a sweat. And if we fast forward to the second Mortal Kombat tournament, this nigga almost didn't live to see another day because Kuai Liang was about to hit him with a mean-ass fatality until he was interrupted by the Cyber Lin Kuei, allowing for Scorpion to escape. And although he lived to see another day, he also lived to see himself get slapped around all up and down the Netherrealm by Raiden of all people. So now we're sitting at 0 wins, 13 losses, and 3 empty wins on the side. And in case you forgot, those that still want to count his empty wins as real wins, I will tally them up at the end of the video to show you exactly what his record would look like with and without them, so don't worry. For now, let's just move on to MKX, where we see him get tackled out of a fucking helicopter by Johnny Cage. Also, go check out my video titled MKX's Dumbest Moments Still Blow My Mind. If you haven't seen it yet, that video is ridiculous. You won't want to miss it. But don't ask me how he survived the fall. Just know that this is the second time where within the first few minutes of the game, Scorpion got his ass boom, bang, bow, knocked the fuck out. I mean, it was already bad enough that he was getting humiliated on the helicopter, but off of it too? Jeez, man, but it gets even worse. Tell me why Scorpion and Quan Chi were in a 2v1 and they both lost to Sonya. Nigga, this is an all-time low for Scorpion. There's no way the face of the franchise is losing to Sonya, right? Or am I tripping? We've all been led to believe this guy is a beast, but his record right now is 0-15. Come on, dog. Luckily, in the next clip, he actually redeems himself by winning against Sub-Zero. Only this wasn't an actual win, because Sub-Zero wasn't even trying. Let me break it down for you. Sub-Zero invited Scorpion over to the crib for a little tea party. That way they could settle their beef. But it was ruined the moment Frost tried to ambush Scorpion out of pure hatred for his clan. Now Scorpion was going for none of that, so he automatically assumed he was being set up by Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero knew it was a misunderstanding. So instead of fighting him full force, he tried to calm him down using words. But Sub-Zero should have known that YN mode had been activated. It wasn't until Sub-Zero helped Scorpion stop Frost that he realized Sub-Zero was just trying to converse with him and didn't want any smoke. But overall, what I'm saying is, this is an empty win because Scorpion beat someone who literally wasn't trying. And funny enough, the same can be said for the next fight with Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage, because all they were trying to do was stop him from killing Quan Chi. But Scorpion, who did a great job of hiding his anger in these scenes, was mad as hell. There's no question in my mind that after seeing what he did to Quan Chi later in the story, that he wasn't going 100% against Sonya and Johnny. The only person he didn't go 100% for was Kenshi, but that's only because Johnny Cage interrupted them before they could actually start fighting. Kenshi threw him into a car and Scorpion tackled him. The end. But that doesn't change the fact that Scorpion beating Sonya and Johnny Cage are both empty wins. Neither Sonya or Johnny were going try hard, but Scorpion was, and in the midst of him giving Quan that work, Devora came out of nowhere and defeated him in one hit. One hit! And instead of killing him right then and there, she decided to run over to aid Quan, who was on 1 HP. Like, girl, why didn't you just kill Scorpion first? But it's thanks to her dumb decision making that Scorpion was finally able to get his revenge. However, this wasn't a win, and there's 2 reasons for that. Earlier in the game, Sonya tells Scorpion this:
I will have Quan Chi.
We have things under control. You can...
He must die.
Raiden needs him. Without Quan Chi, we can't restore Liu Kang and the other Revenants. You'd leave them trapped? Like you were?
Only Quan Chi concerns me.
So by killing Quan Chi, it forced the other heroes to remain as evil revenants forever, causing them to bring more chaos and destruction later down the line. But above all else, it was the reason Shinnok became free again, which put Earthrealm in even greater danger than ever before. Even Scorpion knew this was an L because in his latter ending, he blamed himself for Shinnok's return.
Remorse for his role in resurrecting Shinnok weighed heavily upon Scorpion's soul. His desire for vengeance had brought Earthrealm to the brink of destruction. Scorpion offered to perform harakiri to atone for his offense.
Guys, he was about to off himself because he knew he fucked up that badly. Even when he's successful, he's still losing. You can't make this up. But enough of MKX. Now we've made it all the way to MK11, where we see Scorpion from the past going up against the likes of Liu Kang and Kung Lao from the past. And it didn't end well. Depending on who you choose to whoop his ass is the person we see whooping his ass. And immediately after his ass whooping, he teleports away just to come back with Jade and get his ass whooped again, giving him 2 L's back to back. Was the first one not good enough? This man obviously didn't think this shit through. Look, let's just focus on the next fight. Here we see Scorpion hit Devora with the... I know she felt that. But this is what led to the inevitable showdown of Scorpion versus Devora. And finally, we see Scorpion take his first W by beating Devora. Let's clap it up for Scorpion. Everybody give him a round of applause. Yep, that's right. Unfortunately, his win was short-lived because his past self pulled up looking for the smoke, but at least he succeeded. Now, I'ma be real, I am not counting the Scorpion versus Scorpion fight, simply because by beating himself, he's winning and losing at the same time. So essentially the win-loss cancels itself out. But I will be counting the L he took right after this fight, where he literally stares at Devora and does nothing as he watches her attack him, then dies from poisoning. You just got your first win, then got killed by the same person you just beat. Scorpion, what is going on, man? Everybody, let's pray for Scorpion. You went through hell and back only to die to a bug. Thankfully, you were able to convince past Scorpion to basically become a good guy and do some pest control, but don't get it twisted. You still went out sad and Devora got away. So with the present Scorpion now out of the picture, we follow the past Scorpion as he journeys all the way back to the Shirai Ryu Gardens. There he tried to explain to Sub-Zero and Liu Kang what happened, but he was met with a cold reality check. Neither of them believed him. So Sub-Zero tells Liu Kang to go get Raiden while he runs the fade with Scorpion. But one thing Sub-Zero didn't count on is that he'd be the one to go night-night. And now Scorpion has 2 wins, but 20 losses, and no time to celebrate because out of nowhere, BAM! Electricity coursing through his body. A new contender has arrived and his name is Raiden. And before they knew it, they were both engaged in battle. But here's where things get interesting. Scorpion had Raiden on the fence until Raiden stopped playing around and up that fire on his ass. And as you can tell, Shinnok's amulet was no joke, resulting in another L for Scorpion. If Liu Kang hadn't been there to stop it, Scorpion would have been turned into smithereens. But it doesn't end there. You remember the fight right before this one where Scorpion actually wins against Sub-Zero, right? Well, it turns out that was short-lived as well. Because on MK11 Aftermath, Fujin and Shang Tsung went back in time to the moment right before Scorpion defeated Sub-Zero and faced Scorpion and Sub-Zero in a 2v1, then gave them the terrible case of knockout fever. Isn't it crazy how both of Scorpion's wins got snatched away? He beat Devora, then died to Devora, then beat Sub-Zero, but got beat by Fujin, who traveled back in time and gave him an L where his W was supposed to be. My God, you can't make this up. But let's get serious for a moment. As you know, Scorpion's official win-loss record is 2 wins and 22 losses. But as promised, if we count his empty wins, he's sitting at a whopping 8 wins and 16 losses. Yeah, I know, that's pretty bad. Remember, this is the face of the franchise. This is the guy everyone knows for putting belt to ass. But it turns out, When you actually look at his record, he is nothing more than a walking L. So to all my Scorpion fans curled up in a fetal position crying like there's no tomorrow, wipe your tears and enjoy the rest of your day, because the truth shall set you free. Anyways, let me know how you feel in the comment section, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like and hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of the Heavenly Army, not to be confused with Heaven's Army, and together we shall overcome the physical. But with that being said, I guess I'll catch you guys another time.